would be great indeed. Time to move on to our final topic. So we have election fever all over the place, a municipal upcoming. A year and a half from now we have the federal, and very soon we could learn about a provincial. Do you endorse the notion of endorsements? It's happening all over the place. It's a crazy ride as we're watching all this. Alex, we'll start with you.
Well, I think that it can go either way with endorsements. Sometimes they're the kiss of death, depending on who it is. But other times it does have an impression on individuals. Certainly down the States, if you have popular pop stars supporting you, that goes a long way. But I think even here in Canada, we have, if you get David Suzuki's endorsement or Maud Barlow's, those are very influential Canadians.
Will you be seeking any endorsements?
I haven't yet, but perhaps we'll have some still.
Sean?
I'm sort of indifferent as to the value of having an endorsement. I think, who was it recently? Was it Rob Ford that had Ben Johnson and a few others in there? And
a Trailer Park Boy?
Yes, I really don't see the value in that personally. But there is cases, like recently in Hamilton, we had a former mayor who endorsed a former mayor. So that was a sign of maturity, a sign of moving forward, and I think that was great for politics. But in terms of going out,
I would have to disagree there. I think that when you're talking about endorsements, first off, as the person running, it's public perception. Whoever you're getting endorsements from, you want them to be a well-respected individual. You don't want them to have anything to come out, because once they endorse you, then all of a sudden you're a package deal. So Olivia Chow in The Iron Sheik, we saw that just this week. This guy isn't who he says he is, or he's got skeletons in his closet. Now she has to step back from it. So it's a very thin line that you can walk. You want to encourage more people to come under your tent, but if they're doing it publicly, that's going to wear on you as well if something's wrong in their camp.
Well, and all that being said, I look forward to endorsing you, Alex.
Well, thanks, Lauren.
For that very reason. Anything else to say on the endorsement matter?
Well, I never ran out and bought a pair of Nike Airs after seeing Michael Jordan up in
But a lot of people do. It's public perception. There's a reason why. There is a reason why Colgate looks for endorsements. Or politicians.
But there's also the reason that we're talking about it now, that it gets in the paper and that we do notice the candidate based on who he or she is sitting beside. Mm-hmm. And every candidate likes to be in the paper and on the news as often as can be.
It's true, but I think there's more value in having, the average Joe or my next door neighbor endorse me, someone that you're going
to
get out and do something
last for. Federal election, having the Toronto Star endorse an NDP was huge because it was such a surprise. I think sometimes the Toronto Star is called the Liberal Star because it promotes such a liberal viewpoint. But I think, too, that there is actually a lot of value of having Plumber Joe endorsing you. I think it's those everyday people that this actually excites a lot of individuals.
But going back to the media specifically, to your point, I think that the media should remain neutral. It is our job to give as much information to the public so that they can make an informed decision. But when you have newspapers endorsing or people in the media endorsing, it shows that you're no longer bipartisan, that you're no longer
neutral. Tara,
neutral.
Wouldn't you prefer your paper be upfront about its editorial slant?
That's how I feel.
That it's been
so that you can just
anyways?
When you go to Toronto, you have a number of papers to choose from, and you kind of understand their slant. Sometimes they can surprise you, but in a large city like Hamilton, we only have one major paper.
Right,
for
but
example.
Isn't it better to know who the Spectator is supporting for mayor, hypothetically, than try and guess or try and assume that all their coverage has been balanced when clearly they do have a preference?
I see your point.
It comes down to the reporter, too. There's many reporters with different opinions. And
reporters just report news. Columnists have opinions. Yeah, right.
Thank you for that. I think, though, I'd have to agree with you, Lauren. I think that it's better to have a newspaper come out and be honest, be transparent. Whenever someone says I'm unbiased, I have to really say, well, no, you're just not revealing what your stance is. We all have biases. It's natural. I think that
we do, but I just feel like
it's best
I feel like when it comes
those.
To radio announcers, when it comes to people like us, okay, in our case, we all represent a party.
Yes.
But as a moderator, for example, you should be neutral.
and clearly I have been. And at this moment in time, I would like to thank everybody for allowing me the opportunity to sit in this chair. We have run out of time. So on behalf of Tara, Sean, and Alex, thank you for watching The Opinionators, and we'll be back again next week.
Lauren, you're
So I
so
call them my potential voters.
lackadaisical.
What's that?
I call them my potential
Nice.
voters.
You should be a moderator more often.